Guys, what's up? This is Kazi from cleverprogrammer.com. In this video, we are going to talk about Boolean logical operators. So in the last video, we covered the basic jujitsu of Boolean algebra, kind of like what is the basic, most fundamental ideas behind Boolean algebra. And we saw that everything that we talked about converts to either true or false, right? So here we have all these things converting to true or false. That's effectively what ends up happening at the end. So now let's go and talk about the operators that I was mentioning. Okay, so before I start giving you their rules and how they are defined in the world of electricity or logic gates or programming for that matter, I want to just give you guys an intuitive sense of how it works, because that's way more important than memorizing these, truth tables for a lot of these cases. So let me try to give you guys an intuition. So let's start off with and. Okay, we're going to start off with this logical operator. As you can see, it's a special word in Python, which is why it highlights to orange. If you write and with two D's, it does not highlight to orange. And let's talk about what it does. So let's say I did, 5 and 5. It'll give me back a 5, and here it's not really making sense. Let's try true and true, and let's see what it returns. It returned true. Now let's try something like true and false. Let's see what that returns. That returns false. So now let me try to give you guys an intuition of how it works for and. Let's say there are two things. I ask you, do you like poison and do you like pizza? Right? If I asked you that question and you could only answer with yes or no, what would you say? Hopefully you would say false or no, right? And then and if I asked you to elaborate, then you might say, I might like pizza, but I really don't like poison, right? So the idea behind you not liking poison, but you liking pizza, that whole thing, when you combine it with an and, that whole thing becomes false. Because there's one of those things that you don't like, so you can't say yes to the whole expression that I gave you, right? For and, both of the things have to be true for you to say yes to it. Like if I asked you, do you like pizza and ice cream? You'll say yeah, right? But if I tell you like jumping off of the cliff, or do you like doing your math homework a lot, and do you like writing essays? In that case, probably both of the things you might not like doing, your math homework and writing essays, and you might say, no, I like doing neither of them. Or for sure, you would say false, right? So I can say something like math homework, let's set it to false, meaning like you don't like it. And let's say long essays is equal to false. And now let's combine the two. Let's say math homework and long essays. You get back false, right? Math homework is really false and long essays are false. So false and false gives you a false. Now let's try pizza, and let's say we like it. For my friend Daniel, he loves pizza. So if you're watching this video, that's who I was thinking of when I came up with this example. Let's do ice cream, and let's set that to true, meaning we like both of them. And let's do pizza and ice cream, right? And you get back true. So even thinking about it logically, whenever you combine something with an and, both of those things are now combined. So when you're answering for both of them, even in real life. Both of those things have to be true. Johnny, go throw out your garbage, and then you get to play, right? So in that case, both of those things happen to be true. If you throw out the garbage, then you kind of get to play. It's a little bit of a contrived example. There's more of a if-then statement rather than an and. Okay, how about this? Even better. Johnny, throw out your garbage and do your homework, and then you get to play. Okay, in that case, the only way Johnny will get to play his game is if he has thrown out the garbage and done his homework. Much better. Now I can now I can sleep better. All right. That's the breakdown for and. So now let me just give you some problems and throw it at your face. Okay? False and false. Quickly, what do you think it's going to be? You should have said false. False and true. Remember, one of them is false, both of them end up being false, because we can imagine that this is poison and this is pizza, and you can't say true to both of them because there's one of them that you don't like. For it to be true, both of them have to be true. What if I gave you true and false? What if I gave you true and true? What do you think that would be? Okay, hopefully you're starting to get a little bit of sense of this. Why this will be important later on is once we get to the conditionals and control flow section, which we should be getting to in the next video. In there, we're going to be talking about how you can combine an if statement, use an and to check two conditions, and then the block of code runs. So if Johnny homework and pizza, or and I don't know, throw out garbage, then this code here runs. Okay? Obviously, I'm going to get syntax errors right now because I haven't defined Johnny homework, I haven't defined throw out garbage, and you can't write stuff separated by spaces. And I don't know who writes capital variables. Only if it's constants, but we'll get to that later. All right. So now let's go to the or side of things. What if we combine two things with an or? If I asked you, do you like pizza? Okay, so for sanity check, assume you like pizza, even if you don't. Okay, so just to play along, just imagine you like pizza. So if I asked you, do you like pizza or doing homework? If you had to answer that with a true or false, what would you say? Do you like pizza or doing math homework? If you could only answer with a true or false or yes or no, you should say yes. Or you should say true. Because there's one of those things that you like. And I asked you or. They're not connected with each other, right? A or B. So let me show you guys this in code. If I do false or true, check out what you get back. You get back a true statement, right? If I do true or false, I get back a true statement. And if I replace this with something that we understand better, let's say we don't like poison. Poison is equal to false. And let's say we do like pizza, and we already have pizza as true, but I'm just going to do that again. And now let's write this statement over here using pizza and poison. Pizza or poison. I misspelled poison, but in one of my older videos I had it there, so don't worry about why it figured out what poison was. But yeah, let's just use this poison variable that we wrote here. So you can see that we get back a statement that's true because one of the things is true, and in this case that's pizza. So for an or statement to be true, only one of the things have to be true, right? If I asked you, do you like ice cream and or pizza, you would say true if you could only answer that with one thing. Just like if, again, we take Johnny or our son Bob and we go, Bob, either if you do your homework or you throw out the garbage, then you get to play. So he just goes, oh, sweet, I'm just going to throw out the garbage. So this way, he doesn't have to worry about doing homework. He decides to only do one of the tasks and then he can play the game. But what if he went and tried to be extra nice and threw out the garbage and then went and did his homework? Would us being his dad or mom still allow him to play? Of course, he did both of the things. Great, that's extra bonus. But for him to qualify as a player or like go play his games, he really needs to do only one thing. That's what the or does in our real life. And so that's what it does in programming as well. So now let's just let me just throw some examples at your face and you try to figure it out. True or false? What do you think I'm going to get quickly? I'm going to get back a true. Only one of them has to be true. What if I did true or true? What am I going to get back? True, obviously. What if I do true or sorry, let's do false or false. Two false statements. Do you like poison or homework? You're going to say no, none of them. There you go. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of or. And if I wanted to break down not for you, not is very simple. Not is just something that doesn't happen. Okay? So it's just a negation of something. So if I said not true, what do you think I'd get back? I'd get back false. If I did not false, what would I get back? True. It's just a negation. So if I do something like not true or false, what do you think I'm going to get back? What is this expression going to evaluate to? True or false? Remember, for something to be true in the or, combined with the or Boolean logical operator, only one of the statements has to be true. So here we do have a true. So true or false evaluates to a true, and then, right, this pretty much becomes true, and then calling not untrue gives us false. So now let's just run it. Okay, and as you can see, we get back false. So what I'm going to do for you guys on cleverprogrammer.com is if you guys go to submit your exercises here, what I'm going to do is I'll have, if you go to watch the video course on my website, I will have exercises here for you where you can kind of drill and kill how true and false and this stuff, Boolean operators work. That's going to be very, very useful for you guys. So then when you're writing your if-then statements, you'll understand what you're doing. Okay, but this is kind of, we just need a basic understanding of it. Some places go really crazy in depth into it, like creating things like not true or false or true, just combining it and making it into a, like, these can be good exercises for you to figure out, but realistically, when you're writing code, you're not going to be doing stuff like this. So if you can figure this out in your head, great. But, you're not writing code like this most of the time. So I wouldn't want to worry about it too much. But if you want to go ahead and give yourself some crazy exercises like this to do, or come to my website where I'll have some exercises for you guys to do, that would be great. And before I conclude this video, let's go back to here. I have put together a truth table for you guys, or rather it's on wikimedia.org. So I didn't put this together, but I have an image. I'll link you guys the image, and you can see how the truth tables work. So in the A column, we have some statement. Imagine it being pizza, right? We have that statement, and B, say some other statement. So we don't really know what these statements are for now, but you can imagine them to be whatever you want. So let's say we have some statement A and some statement B. If A is false and B is false, then A and B, you get back false, right? Remember, and so if you have, again, A being poison and B being homework, poison and homework, you get back false. You like neither of them. And if we have A or B, since both of them are false, it's still false. And not A is just the opposite of that. You get back true. And same thing over here. We have false and true. False and true gives you back a false. False and true, you only need one thing to be true in or statements. You get back a true. And then not A, which is saying, opposite of A. Since A was false, you get back a true. Okay, so one thing I want you to notice about AND operator and OR operator is if you look down the column of the AND operator, you'll only see one true case. And the only reason why it's true is because both of the statements are true. Okay, that's the key thing to remember. Both of the things are true. And if you go and look in the OR column, you'll see the or being false only in one case, and the only case is false is when both of the things are false, okay? So notice the key distinction between the two. Okay, that's kind of all you have to know for Boolean stuff, and I'm not going to go into the next video with really long nested Boolean statements. It's kind of useless. We don't really think that way anyways. And we're going to get into conditionals and control flow. So I will see you guys there.